Hello, I'm ReggieKiosk67. You're watching my Warframe review of Rhino or Rhino Prime. Now, Rhino Prime will take less forma for this particular build. Rhino will take more forma, however you can do it with both builds. Anyhow, welcome everyone. Sorry I haven't exactly put out any videos during the course of December. I was actually effectively taking a little bit of a break from PlayStation in general, playing other games and hanging out with family and friends, you know, holiday month, all that, so to speak. But I am back, and welcome to the new year. It's 2018. Hope you guys had a great Christmas and a great holidays, and without further ado, let's get to the Rhino Prime build. The build is actually fairly simple. You have a steel charge for extra space, and also melee damage, because melee damage is always nice, especially if you're a melee player like myself. You got steel charge, armed agility, very basic for a Rhino build, but you also have Gladiator Aegis. Now that's for 45% additional damage and 30% critical chance that stacks a multiplier. You're probably wondering why. Well, that stacking also stacks with your Blood Rush body count combo, so if you got like a Galantine or a melee slash build or anything of that similar nature, that will also stack with that. So with this added on, and one probably on your melee weapon, 30% plus the 160 something plus a critical mod, that's about 200 plus critical stack per combo multiplier, so that's easily red crits after like maybe 20 hits or so. And we got Intensify, Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, and Power Drift, your 4 primary power strength mods, all right here. Then we have Fleeting Expertise, and now this mod over here to the right hand side, if you don't already know what it does, it's more ability power strength, it's Augur Secrets. This mod is actually very hard to get your hands on. So if you don't have Augur Secrets, a flow, or maybe even a prime flow, or maybe even a streamline, it's probably your best bet after the fact. So like I said, Gladiator Aegis, very easy mod to get your hands of. I have multiples and copies of it. Even Augur Message I have multiple copies of. But Augur Secrets, that might take a little while to get. You just farm the bounties and eventually you'll get it, so just take your time and you'll get it eventually. Very good power strength mod for power hungry builds, such as the Self of Iron Skin. Now there are 2 survivability factors when related to Iron Skin. It's armor and power strength. Now I'm going to demonstrate the power strength of this build in terms of the Iron Skin and the abilities. So let's check that out. It's about 10,081 Iron Skin. Now this is average Iron Skin levels. Now there are multiple builds for Rhino, however I found that the Iron Skin build for Rhino is the one that works the best. What I mean by works the best, I mean that it works the most balanced. It's the most useful, it's the most reliable, and it's the most easily maintained. And what I mean by that is there's multiple builds. You have your stomp build, your spammy build, not really my style. Then you have the Iron Skin and Rhino Charge build, which is your Ironclad Charge and Iron Shrapnel build, which is what I usually use when I have my original Rhino. And then when I got Rhino Prime, they kind of nerfed that whole combo, because you can't get the bonus anymore after Rhino Charge's augment duration is over. Once it's over, and it's you just revert back to normal Iron Skin. After that, I went with the Iron Shrapnel Iron Skin build, and then I went to this build shortly thereafter once the new mods came out. So without further ado, let's test this. We're just going to use a level 140 heavy gunner, and if I can survive more than 30 seconds, we know that it's a viable build. Or even maybe not 30 seconds, well, let's say 30 seconds. Alright, so let me grab some energy. There we go. Enemy spawn, cool. I like to hear that confirmation, or see that confirmation. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, to about 30 seconds. But then again, you're not going to want to stand in their line of view for 30 seconds, but that gives you more than enough time to, 20-30 seconds is more than enough time to basically eliminate them. So let's see how he does against a whole group of level 110s. Let's do a heavy gunner. We'll do 1 bombard, 1 corrupted Eximus butcher, 4 butchers, 2 crewmen, and 2 lancers with maybe a nullifier. Very standard amount of enemies. For those wondering, I have blast and corrosive on my build, just for that stun effect against multiple targets. As you can see, my Iron Skin is having no problems holding out against multiple level 100s. See, it finally just wore off right now. Yeah. I should have grabbed more energy when I went in there to respawn my Iron Skin. That's my bad. Also, for some strange reason, the enemies here don't give as much energy as they normally do. There we go. I think that's all of them. But yeah, other than that one death, which was entirely my fault for not grabbing energy before I went in there. My bad. The Iron Skin is perfect. That's a group of 12 or 13 enemies, all of level 110s, and it felt as if I was taking down level 50s. Well, effortless. Of course, that also has to do with the gun I'm using and the weapons and all that other stuff. So, you know, any Warframe, it really depends on what you go in there with, what your Iron Skin levels are if you're a Rhino, and basically the synergy between your weapons, your play style, and the way you actually go in there, you know, the way you basically just keep an eye on your Iron Skin and how you use cover and, you know, all the other variables and stuff like that that can increase your survivability. But ultimately, right down to it, it's, for at least Rhino, it's that Iron Skin. So I'm going to go to the build for you guys for one last time. Alright, this is my build. You guys can change it. There are a few things you can do to, if you want to actually use this build, there's actually a couple things you can do to maximize it. You can maximize these 2 mods. I don't want to, mostly due to the fact that it ruined my other builds for various Warframes. You can put on Stand United versus Steel Charge. That'll be perfectly fine. You'll lose that 60% melee damage, which I don't like to do. I'm very melee orientated. I love using my Galantine. So I couldn't do that. But you could also put on Iron Shrapnel for those who aren't good at keeping their Iron Skin tabs on, who are more in the face of the enemy, and rather than sitting back and, you know, taking pot shots off using your weapons to your complete advantage. And of course, you can take off Augur Secrets for Prime Flow if you don't run a Xeneric like I do. This is a very Xeneric hungry build. If you're not running Xeneric subclass, you're definitely going to want to swap off this for Iron Shrapnel, and then this for maybe even a Streamline if you prefer that over a Prime Flow, or go Prime Flow and Streamline instead of Iron Shrapnel. But for those who are not good at keeping an eye on your Iron Skin, who are more of along lines of like the jump in head first, definitely use Iron Shrapnel. But that's the build for now. I'll keep you guys posted on any build changes for my Rhino, I'll make additional videos or replace this one. But for right now, like, comment, subscribe below, and I'll see you guys later.